All right.
Recording.
Welcome everyone to this episode of Humans of Tech. I'm Caroline and
I'm Kelly.
and this is our first time ever recording in person. We have we're in the flesh, we're in real life.
After knowing each other, I think since June of last year, we have done every single recording virtual, and finally we get to meet in person.
So we have with us today Bill Boudreaux, who is the CTO of the City of Rochester.
Hello. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Caroline.
And he's going to be joining us as our guest, and we're going to have a great random question for him. I'm nervous.
I know. It's going to be a good one.
I don't know why I'm nervous.
Ooh, this is a good one. What are some lessons or key takeaways you've gained from your experience in the technology industry?
Say that one more time, Kelly.
What are some lessons or key takeaways you've gained from your experience in the technology industry?
Interesting. So let's start with lessons, I guess. Number one is while you're in the technology field, there's a line I've used forever that is the truest thing of all the bylines you can use. It's the only constant in IT is change. So
that's great.
Anybody who sits anywhere for a number of years will realize that through that time, you've had to adapt to so many different things that have come along as the technology changes. I mean, I laugh how people will keep a car for 10 years. That's great. Keeps running. That's great. 10 years is an eternity in IT. If you have a 10-year-old program, it's probably been due for replacement 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But anyway, so therefore the change. Therefore, you have to be extremely adaptable. So one of the things I learned early on was, look, you better be ready for change in this field, or you're not going to be in it for long, and you're not going to want to be in it for very long. So as far as key takeaways, you always have to be prepared for the unexpected. You always have to realize that no matter how much a vendor or a salesperson tells you something's going to be, it's probably going to be more. Implementation is probably going to be harder than anybody realizes when you're talking about it. And there's always going to be things that hit you that you didn't expect or weren't aware of were occurring in your environment when you try to change or do or implement new things. So that's just a quick perspective on that I have on those two things that, you got to be ready for anything.
I also would say, like, with the change aspect and changing of tools and changing of people, there's so many that you have to be ready for to lead a team, 1 year, and then maybe someone, went to a new role, went outside of the organization, switched over. Maybe you've gotten someone with new skills, new talents. Change and your team is everything. Your team is your tools that are most important tools. So
exactly.
For those that may not know you well, how long have you been in IT?
Oh, let's see. I have to say so. I believe I'm approaching, I'll say 30 years is conservative. I believe I started in 92. So let's say 32 years I've been doing IT work.
So my thoughts initially when you were talking about you need to be ready for change and adaptable in the IT sphere.
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. You kind of have to be that way for everything in life.
Absolutely. There's no question. I would say that adapts to everything you do because relationships, marriages, friendships, you name it, everything changes and goes through different parts. Let's face it, people change. I'm a completely different person today than I was at 25. There's no question. I'm still me. There's still things that I love and always will, cartoons and things like that. But I'm a complete. What's that?
Have the core values that have stayed.
Exactly.
But the rest kind of.
Yeah. I listen now. I never used to listen. I was a gunslinger. I made decisions. Now I actually listen to people because maybe their suggestions are better than mine. It's rare, but it happens.
That probably came with time and leadership skills. I think one of the things a lot is about as a leader really being able to listen to those around you, and actually also be really adaptable to those people around you as well.
It's interesting you say that, Caroline, because one of the things that I think people have to keep in mind, it's extremely hard to train somebody to be a leader. I feel like leading is like art, mathematics, science, driving a race car or anything else. Something in you makes you better at it than other people are. And no matter how much I go out and to the Formula racetrack, Verstappen's going to kick my butt forever. I'm never going to be close to the driver that he is because he's just a better overall driver. It's in him to be better than I am. And I feel like you're a leader. People come to you, they watch you, they follow you. You can go all the classes you want. Not going to make you a leader.
You're saying something very controversial
Yeah.
for all those people who have written books on leadership, but we've been talking not necessarily on the leadership spectrum, but we have talked about there are certain things within people that make them good that you just can't teach. It's almost like gut instinct, right? It's coming
Yes.
inside of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about that here. My director mentioned in front of the rest of the team to say, look, you know, one of the things that I value that Bill does is his gut is usually correct on things.
Mhm.
So, you know,
We actually probably should teach people how to start re-listening to their gut.
Yeah.
Because
oh yeah,
maybe they always had it in them and they just stopped listening to it.
Overthinking a lot.
right. So yeah, let me preface what you said because you can train people to be leaders, but I still believe they just don't know it.
There you go. Well, I think this is a good
Yeah,
point
this is great.
to end here. Bill,
Okay,
thank you so much
Yeah.
for coming on.
This is awesome.
of course. My pleasure. And I love the fact that I've known you two now for a few months, many months, whatever it's been. And the fact that you two are together for the first time and I get to see that makes me very happy.
Yeah, it's been
I
great.
love that.
Very good.
Love that.
Cool.
All right.
Ladies, take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Let me see. Stop.